And good morning. It's brunch time at Collinsville, the Collinsville Prairie Farms Tournament. And it's Jeff Wellman getting ready for Blue Devil basketball here on MeccaSportsCo.com. Well, the Blue Devils won their first game opening yesterday as they beat Oakville 76-38 to improve to 12-0 on the season. Bradley Loncourt had 18, Dominic Clay had 15, Brown with 13, and Cameron Wires off the bench with 9. On the other side, they're taking on Althoff Catholic, and they ended up beating Mundelein after being down early, 75-52. They had 4 guys in double figures, including 1 guy off the bench. And so it should be a good matchup here. We just saw a good one right before us here as O'Fallon beat MacArthur 73-57. So the winner of this game will be taking on O'Fallon, an opponent that the Blue Devils would like to get back to. And speaking of Blue Devils, right to my right, we covered a couple games in Bloomington. We're down here in Collinsville. Coach Dave Pettit.
Well, yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think the Blue Devils had their druthers of who they would have to play between Decatur MacArthur, who beat them last year in the semifinals, or O'Fallon, who beat them in the first round of the sectionals, last year. So either or, and O'Fallon looked pretty good the first game. It was an up-and-down game, so, I think the Blue Devils, this is going to be a tough tune-up for them. Belleville Althoff Catholic, 9-3. Their 3 losses have come to 7th-ranked team in the state in 3A, Mount Zion, Belleville East, and Belleville West, which are, 4A schools, and Belleville Althoff Catholic is a 2A school. So they got a sophomore that, the other night against Mundelein, Alex Johnson, 6'2", had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and only had 1 turnover. So, Gary Hill, a 6-foot junior, had 19 points also with 4 steals and 4 rebounds. The key tonight, I believe, is going to be if the Blue Devils can take advantage of their height. Because when we go Keyshawn at 6'6", Camden at 6'5", Longcourt at 6'4", Sprick at 6'3", we have a decided height advantage, against Belleville Althoff is going 6'2", 6'2", sprinkled in 6'4" that wasn't very productive against Mundelein. So I think the Blue Devils, take the ball to the hole, take the ball hard to the hole. I think we'll be in good shape tonight.
Pretty good crowd for the Blue Devils back behind the bench here. We saw a few fans actually, and also Mr. Sherman, Dan and Pam's son, Dan. It's better known as Truck since his brother is Tank. And so Truck is down there. Greg never got a nickname, his brother there, but he popped over to say hi here before the ball game, as well as BL1. He's always in every gym. And that's, of course, Bradley Loncourt's grandfather. He's the first one that came through. But a good contingency down here. We even have David Klein in the front row. David's very involved with the Blue Devils before game time and that. So, or the concession. I find him in the concession a lot of times.
A lot of blue down there today.
Yeah, kind of like you with popcorn there. So, and for those who are at home, you can join us right here at MeccaSportsCo.com. We'll be here, and of course, there's Bradley's parents as well as we comb the crowd for the who's in the stands. Always a great tournament, and of course, the one thing that's different this year than every other year. Every year we come down here, there's a certain gentleman, an alumni from Quincy that's in St. Louis, a great baseball writer, in fact, a Hall of Fame writer. Rick Hummel is always here watching basketball, and not just Blue Devils. He's a Blue Devil fan, but he's a basketball fan. And, of course, we lost him last year in January, I believe it was, maybe February. And so first year we've not had Rick Hummel down here. They are going to do a presentation before to his daughter. They've got a plaque and everything. And, of course, over here to our right, Steve Porter, one of his good friends, is, up here checking things out. We were just talking to him a minute ago. In fact, he just received a media award this year, the year after Rick did. Actually, maybe it was 2 years after Rick. And I asked him, I said, so they got you a jacket? He said, no, they got me a patch. This is my jacket. And so this is not the Masters. And I'm going to hold it right here and turn it up a little bit. And they're announcing right now the Rick Hummel Award.
Rick Hummel is a fixture at the Collinsville Holly Classic, sitting in press row cheering for his Quincy Blue Devils. Rick was best known for his work with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and his work for the St. Louis Cardinals. Hummel, a Quincy native, and 1964 graduate of Quincy High School, became the first Quincyan inducted or honored by one of the major sports Hall of Fames when he received the J.G. Taylor Spink Award from the Baseball Hall of Fame for writing. Hummel was the St. Louis Post-Dispatch baseball beat man for the Cardinals for 24 years. He covered 30 World Series and 28 All-Star games. Hummel has a son, Scott, and 2 daughters, Lauren and Christy. Our hearts are heavy this year with the passing of Mr. Hummel last May. Let's please observe a moment of silence to honor Rick and all he contributed to the Holiday Classic. Thank you. At this time, we'd like to present Christy with a plaque from the Holiday Classic that will also be hung in press row to carry on Rick's legacy at the Holiday Classic for years to come. Thank you, Commish.
And, of course, how appropriate to have Steve Luton down there shooting footage. Steve was around for a lot of years. I don't want to get too many years in there. We actually told him we thought we saw him at Bloomington keeping score at the table yesterday. It was not him, as he was down here. And that was one of Rick's daughters getting the award. Rick has 1 son and 2 daughters, and it was May that when he passed away. I knew he was in Quincy in January at the Exchange Club, and it wasn't long after that. We had fun the last couple of years talking. Actually, I was talking to Steve Porter about him going to Beaumont High School, Earl Weaver, and of course talking about your dad, Jim Pettit, who was his, was it campaign chair for homecoming or class president?
Class president.
Class president. Jim Pettit, Dave's Coach Pettit's dad, was Earl Weaver. If you don't remember him, look him up. Great baseball player, great manager for the Baltimore Orioles. That's some good stuff, too, by the way, because you never hear about that stuff until years later. All right, here we go. It looks like we'll have the Blue Devils as the visiting team, so they'll be the first one called up. They'll be wearing their road blue trimmed in white, and the Devils will look, again, same starting lineup. We got Ralph Wires wearing number 3. He's a 5'10 senior. Number 4, Devils, of course, Andy Douglas, assisted by Bruce Bonas. And I saw a picture of the Leper family the other night. Sarah has become the shortest mom as Jordan passed her up, and now their son, he's already about 6'5". He's going to be knocking on Lep's door pretty soon. He'll be borrowing his shoes and all his clothes. And that's a good thing for the Blue Devils. To watch him from a little kid up to the big man now. Devils, of course, played Oakville yesterday, and it was not that tough a game. Talking to Brock, talking to a few other people that had watched the game too. Oakville didn't have much. That's usually what happens the first round of the tournament. And that's why you saw some of the stats and stuff.
A 5'8" senior, number 1, Earl
Liverpool. Liverpool's a 5'8" senior. Alex Johnson wears number 2. He's a 6'2" sophomore. Bryden Grismala. He's a junior, wears number 33. And we mentioned Luke Smith coming off the bench at 6'2" sophomore, who had a game of 10 and 8 yesterday. We're ready for basketball here, folks. And, of course, our pregame show is brought to you by Kunis Honda and Kunis Hyundai, faith, family, and giving back. Tip goes up to the sideline, goes out of bounds, and they're going to re-jump it. Back official could not tell who actually tipped that ball. You got Camden Brown in the center circle, tipping with De'Air Hill Jr. A little shorter, but with that little tail up there, he actually was almost as tall as Camden. Tip went in the backcourt. Althoff Catholic has the first time down. Devils jumping out into man-to-man. Liverpool with the ball off the left side. He's got Wires on him. Almost a screen there. Wires got around it. Nobody talked about it. In the left side, driving left baseline. Shot off the glass, no good. Thomas gets the rebound. Shot was taken there by Alex Johnson. Here go the Blue Devils down the right side. Loncourt drives, kicks it in the corner. Tyler Sprick fires the 3, but it ain't going to count as Loncourt drugged the foot. Traveling call. Glad you be with us.
Well, next time I'd like to see Bradley pull that up and hit that little 12-footer there, floater, on the lane line.
Got aggressive on the first time down the court. Johnson has it on the left side with Sprick on him. Having trouble handling the basketball. Spin move in the corner. Ball not taken away by Sprick. Trying to make that move down there was Lieb. Forgot the basketball. Down in the post. Thomas, turn, shot off the glass. Good. He had defense on him on Lieb. He got bumped, and he got the ball up just enough on the back of the glass to score the first bucket of the game.
Lieb's a big boy.
Keyshawn Thomas with 2 now for the Devils. Althoff Catholic in the half-court set. Pulling up from outside. And good for the three-pointer. Dare Hill Jr. came behind the screen, and Althoff has a 3-2 lead. Camden brings it across. Brown. He's got it into the high post to Keyshawn Thomas. Thomas turns on Lieb. Sends it over to Brown off the right side. Three-pointer, good! Camden Brown with a three-pointer for the Devils. Boy, if you get Camden up there hitting the outside shot early, very positive for the Devils.
Well, that'll open up the drives later on if he hits the shot from the outside to set it up.
Devils back on defense, playing man-to-man. Hill tried to go in. Thomas helped out with Longcore. Loncore's still there. A lot of banging on Hill. Longcore, I think, got away with a foul. Althoff got the ball back, resetting. We played 2 minutes here from Collinsville, the Prairie Farm Classic. Liverpool to the right side, and losing the handle on the ball was Johnson. Right out there to Coach Douglas, who was standing on the sideline, so Devils will get the ball back, up 5-3. Lots of basketball action. We'll try to pick up. We won't get the girls' Blue Devils. They play at 8:30 tonight, so that score will come probably at the end of a second game today. Set to the right side, Brown back out to Wires. Wires brings the dribble down the lane. Nobody stops him all the way to the hole. Good job there. Hesitation, got Liverpool on his hip. Took him in for a bucket. 7-3, Blue Devils with the lead. Staying in that man-to-man early. Brown guarding his counterpart, numeral counterpart, number 4. Off the left side, into the left corner, Hill. Hill working against Longcore. Lots of spin moves. Kicks it out into this corner. Liverpool was going to take a 3, then lost the handle on the ball. Hill back from the left side. Three-pointer, good. Hill with 2 in a row. He's doing all the scoring for Althoff. On the other end, quick transition down to Keyshawn on the block. I tell you, when your big man runs the floor, we talk about it. Feed me, Seymour, feed me.
Got very good position down there on the block. Quick setup, good quick move.
Off the right side is Grismala. Picks the ball up, goes left. Johnson, crossover dribble against Sprick, into the left corner, Hill. He steps back for another 3. This one comes up an air ball, good defense by Longcore. Wires to Longcore down the left side. Crossover, twice through the legs. Down to the baseline. Picks his dribble up now. He's got Thomas at the high post. Thomas, 1 dribbles. Here comes a cutting Sprick into the lane. And our first foul of the game will be whistled against Grismala. His first, and obviously the first for Althoff Catholic.
Good movement by Sprick in the man-to-man set.
And reminded this year, 5 fouls per quarter. It becomes a double bonus. Inbounded, left side, 3. BL 3 for 3. Nobody picked him up coming off the screen on the left wing. Out of bounds play halfway through the quarter. 12-6, Devils doubling up the Crusaders. Wires working hard. Good job by Thomas helping. Ball was lost. And that was Liverpool. Longcore got it. Tried to go deep. Up, getting a hand on it was Grismala. And it'll be Devils basketball under their own basket on the baseline. Sprick's going to trigger it in. Box out of bounds play. Brown down low with Longcore. Thomas and Wires at the high post. High screen. Here comes Longcore out. This time Brown comes back to the basketball. And it was tipped. Picked up by Hill.
Bounce pass would have probably worked better on that possession.
At half court. Hill starts to make a move. The lefty. Brown trying to stay with him. And a good move. Shielding the ball. Camden Brown says, hey, I didn't foul him. It was just a good move. We're going to get an and 1, though, from Hill.
Hill's got a very solid body, and him being left-handed just throws that little bit of difference, you know, than a right-handed player. I hate to say it,
yep.
but.
Well, you're not used to it. It's just it throws your substitution now. Rolf Wires and Tyler Sprick getting a break. Don Clay and Cameron Wires into the ball game. I tell you, Hill's doing the scoring, that's for sure. He's got 2 threes from outside. Now we're looking at a blue collar with 3:28 left in the first. 12-8, still Devils by 4. Alan Ippetson down on the bench, keeping the book as he does at home. Hill's free throw, up, no good. Rebounded Cameron Wires. Wires comes in as the point guard, gets his first rebound of the day. Devils have the ball in the lead. Brown with Hill guarding him behind the arc. Dom Clay gets it at the top, brings the dribble to the right side, back to Cameron Wires to the left. In the post, Loncourt and Thomas. Here's Thomas from the high post, shot no good from three. Just inside three, I should say. And rebound comes out to the Crusaders. New guy in there, Luke Smith, the 6'2 sophomore. He doesn't look 6'2 or very big, does he? But he had 10 points and 8 rebounds in limited time yesterday. Smith goes left side. That's Hill. He touches that ball almost every time down the floor, and now he steps behind the screen. Thomas can't get him or Brown, and Hill.
Well, yesterday Hill was 1 for 7 from the three-point land. Today he's like 3 for 4, I believe.
Lobs inside. Loncourt goes in strong. 3 Crusaders were there. Nice pass from Brown. Bradley will go to the line to shoot 2.
I think the Blue Devils need to put the ball down on the block and make them stop, because there's going to be mismatches, wherever you look out there on the floor, whether it be, Bradley Loncourt going against the, 5'10 Grismala. There's going to be mismatches somewhere on the floor. Blue Devils need to find them and exploit them.
Loncourt makes the first. He'll have one more free throw. Devils up by 2. 2:32 left in the first quarter. Makes another one. He's got 5 on the night, actually the morning. And it will go into afternoon soon, 14-11. Are we there yet, Coach?
Well, we got about 2 minutes.
All right, 2 more minutes. Then we'll be in the afternoon. Althoff Catholic with the basketball. Devils on defense, still staying to that man-to-man. Ooh, Dom Clay almost could have got that one and taken it down for a dunk. Driving hard to the hole, Liverpool. And Liverpool got checked. They'll call that on Dom. It'll be his first. Second one on the Devils. And out of bounds on the baseline for Althoff Catholic. Hill immediately looked for the ball in the corner. They're going to go back out to half court. New sub into the ball game, DeMichael Jackson. Yes, DeMichael Jackson. Driving to the hole, shot was blocked and last touch by Althoff. So the Devils will get the ball back with 2:10 left in the first. A little pressure in the backcourt coming from Jackson. He's got Cameron Wires. Wires across the timeline now. Little check there, nothing. Middle of tap. BL3, top of the key. Gets a screen from Thomas. The roll really wasn't there. Now he's trying to post up. Loncourt, a great bounce pass inside to Thomas. Thomas kept working it. He tips another one. Second tip. Thomas has it again on the floor. And they're going to keep it on our end on the baseline. As it was last touch by Althoff Catholic. I'll tell you, Loncourt waited and waited, and then he finally threw that nice soft bounce pass in there. And it was point blank, but Thomas had 2 or 3 opportunities at that one. And he had a couple Crusaders around him. In the half-court set, Loncourt does the move. And they called the travel on him. He slowed the move down there, that Eurasian that they have. Slowed it down enough the official thought it was a travel. Devils going to jump in there, 1-2-2, three-quarter court. Cameron Wires at the point, Loncourt, Clay at half-court. Deep, Brown, and Thomas. That's a tough, tall lineup there when you get right to half court. Hill has the ball for Althoff Catholic. He's doing all the scoring. Kicks it left side to Liverpool. Liverpool with the ball. 1:20 left. Shot by Hill on the drive. Off the glass, no good. Loncourt and Wires. Wires fights for the rebound, gets his second. And a foul on Hill coming down the court. Not the foul you want. If you're Althoff Catholic, he's just running down the court, not really doing anything. You get a cheap one there.
Yeah, well, not on the drive at the volleyball line, where Ralph was not a threat to score, so.
Oh, that's why that was there. Shot taken by the Devils, no good. Rebounded by Liverpool. That's your guard for Althoff Catholic. Doing some adjusting here. Lieb inside. Strong move. No good. Tipped around by the Devils. Hill picks it up. Hill to the basket. And Thomas was there as well as Cameron Wires. I think Cameron fouled him. And then Cameron chucked him a little bit. Cameron got hit in the eye, so he kind of had that push off. He didn't know who he was pushing. For Cameron, his first foul. Devils third. Both teams with 3. 46.5 left in this quarter. Hill to shoot free throws. 0 for 1 so far on that and 1 attempt. That was squished in between 3 traditional threes. First one is good. Substitution. Mark Lauthan coming in, giving Thomas the opportunity for the last 46 seconds to rest. Also keep him from getting a foul in the first quarter. Keyshawn's got 2 buckets. Some good passing inside and some good hustle around the boards. Hill with 1 more. I was going to say, as Althoff goes, Hill goes, Althoff goes, I would imagine. 14-13. They have a good team. They had 4 guys in double figures tonight. But it sure seems like he's the guy wanting to handle the ball. Him and Liverpool with Johnson a little bit on the side. Louthen just off the right side. Watch that back foot. Boy, he drug that a little bit, and they let it go. Dom Clay pulls up from 16, and it's good. It hits the front of the iron, and then it rolls over the iron and goes in. They all count the same way, though. Devils drop back in there, 1-2-2, 3-quarter court. 20 seconds left. Putting a little more pressure on, or at least making them kill clock to get the ball down. Liverpool has it across the timeline now. He's out there with DeMichael Jackson. Jackson drives to the hole. Wires knocks the ball away. Last touch by Wires, so with 9.7, Althoff has it underneath. Ball inbounded to Hill. Hill from 21 feet. In and out. Tipped out. Hill gets the rebound. Louthen had his hands up, got a partial block. Louthen was again almost fouled, and Camden Brown came back from behind to block the shot with .3. Good help by Louthen and Brown. Inbounded, Hill fires a 3 at the buzzer, no good. And we have played 8 minutes here at the Collinsville tournament. Your score after 1, the Quincy High Blue Devils 16, the Crusaders of Althoff Catholic 13. And you're listening to Blue Devil Basketball on MechaSportsCo.com. And back after the small break there. As we mentioned, if you ever want to be a advertiser for your business, or you want to support the 4 teams that we're covering, the Blue Devils and the Raiders, both boys and girls, or even just Mecha Sports as well, pick up the phone, give us a call. You can reach us also on the internet, mechasportsco@gmail.com, and then also our phone numbers on the website as well. We'll be glad to sit down and market your message to fit the ball games that we've got. We got them almost every night through January and February, so we're busy with games. It's not like we're only on a weekend. I think maybe there's only Sundays and maybe Wednesdays that are usually off for us. That's mechasportsco.com. Devils will get the ball to start the second quarter off. Brown, Wires, Longcore, Louthen, and Clay, the way they finished the first quarter, lead by 3, 16-13.
I mean, it seems like the Blue Devils should be up by more, but Althoff's just hanging around.
Longcore gets the ball inside, kicks it out to the corner. Brown decides he's going to drive. Back out, BL3 from 21. Good, nothing but net. BL3 with a quick crossover dribble. Hits the shot, his second 3 of the ball game. Devils extend that lead tonight. Longcore both were on the side, so they're going to get called for the foul. It will be on Longcore. And for BL3, it's his first foul. First of the second quarter. That just seems so fast on fouls when you say second quarter already. Hill with the basketball in the corner. Kicks it back out. No, he kicks it all the way out to the other side. Liverpool passes up a 3, does a runner. No good. Here's the tip. Oh, boy, if we could have just got that, Dom was ready to head. Luke Smith picked it up, though. Althoff with the basketball. In the set again, DeMichael Jackson. No good. Long rebound, opposite side. And that one goes to Ralph Wires, but Ralph's on the bench. He does not get credit for the rebound. That becomes a team rebound. And that is that people don't realize that when you have something like that and one guy doesn't come down with it. No, there's Coach Martin down there. Great baseball player that went on to the Yankees organization, then ended up coaching in Quincy for the Raiders for sure. Devils with 4 on the perimeter. Louthen in the high post. Gets the ball off the high post. Fakes the handoff there to Longcore. Looking. Kicks it back out to Clay. Ball was hit. Picked it up, brought it back. Clay back at half court. Dom starts to make a move to the left side. Brown is really working, hustling. BL3 cuts down the lane, though. They give him the pass. I'm watching Brown because Brown's working so hard to try to get the ball, and he thinks he's getting fouled. BL3 came down the lane, got the ball, and put up an easy layup. Nice pass, Louthen. Liverpool to the right side to Smith. Smith, drive to the basket. Oh, my goodness. Smith drove to the basket, was falling down, was getting fouled. And he's going to get an and one. And if you're out there watching, as that's Dom Clay's second one, let us know signal-wise, because obviously down here in the gymnasium, we will have a tough one, and we tried to get on with the local one with the Wi-Fi guest. Missed it, but Hill gets the rebound. Nobody screened him out. Hill misses the shot. Weak side rebound. That's Cameron Wire's third rebound, and he gets banged in the backcourt. And luckily, because it was about ready for a Liverpool-Hill trap.
Well, and that's the one thing I was always taught. When you got two people on, you get the ball out and then take off, and then you'll be 4-on-3, 3-on-2.
If that was on Liverpool, that would be his second foul. First in the second quarter for Althoff Catholic. 5:57 left in the first half. 21-15, Devils with a 6-point lead. Devils have the basketball. Ralph Wires back in the game, so is Tyler Sprick. Cameron Wire stays in, as well as Louthan and BL3. Giving Thomas and Brown, those guys, a chance to take a little break. Cameron Wires drives all the way around the world, kicks it out to Sprick on the right side. Sprick starts a dribble, now he kicks it back out. BL3 likes that spot. In and out. Louthan kept the ball alive. And last touch by Louthan as he had two of the Crusaders. Stick around halftime. We'll have a chance to try to catch some other scores out there and just touch base. Talk about these tournaments. Of course, the Collinsville tournament as well as the State Farm where the Blue Devil girls are at, and the Raiders. Raiders had a tough loss last night. In the corner, Hill had to kick it back out. Top of the key. That's Grismala. He almost threw it away as Luke Smith. And the official looked at Luke after it went out of bounds almost like, hey, it hit your leg, but we're going to give you the ball back. Smith triggers it into Mike Jackson. Jackson's got the pink shoes. I make references to him. They're not Jada Brown's. Foul, and a good job there as Lee was trying to set the screen. Ralph Wires came out of that clapping, and the reason because he got a moving screen on him. And for Lee, it'll be his first, and the team's second, both of them with two in the second quarter.
Two very nice defensive possessions by Ralph Wires on Deary Hill Jr.
Devils with the basketball, checking to see if they had a sub there. Nope. Louthan at the top, hands it back to Ralph Wires. Ralph at the point. He's got Grismala on him. Tried to go inside. Louthan might have been open for a brief moment when he threw the ball, and as soon as he lost it, Ralph reached up and smacked him on the hand, so Ralph's going to be committing the foul, his first, and the team's third of the second quarter. Inside 5 minutes. Collinsville, Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit. Full day of basketball down here. First one of the day. Was a ball out as well. It wasn't. It was close early. Actually, MacArthur was leading by 9-0. Oh, Loncourt must have jammed a finger or something, and they stopped the action. Well, no, it doesn't look like a jammed finger, actually. It looks like that one spot you don't want to get hit as a male. And that's why the official, he went ahead and called it. He said, Coach, now don't go on the floor yet. The official made a call. Just wakes you up a little bit there. I thought maybe he had gotten, hit in the eye or something of that nature. And right away when you saw him going down and trying to breathe a little bit, it's like, okay, we got it. We're back to action there. Sprick, both Wires, BL3 and Louthan are in the lineup. Full court pressure being applied a little bit by DeMichael Jackson. He's going to back it off. Here's Cameron, brings it down. Still in the game, Luke Smith. Also, Grismala stayed on the other side. We've got Johnson in there, and the big kid, Lieb, inside. BL3, top of the key, works behind Louthan. Back up, spins the other way. Backs up again, takes the shot, 4-3. Oh, rattles in and out. That's the second one he's had in a row, rattle like that, in and out, but a good look. From the same spot, in transition, Jackson, his shot, 3, no good. Went up on the back top of the board, and it threw off Wires, who was trying to get the rebound. It hit that board one extra time, That gave Alex Johnson a chance to get the rebound, but then lost, and it'll go back to the Blue Devils. And, of course, if you hear those are friends of Rick Hummels to our right as they are sitting at the table. We'll get a lot of that conversation, it sounds like. Probably some good stories. Cameron Wires across the timeline. Tyler Sprick still in there, BL3. Keyshawn's back in the ball game now. He'll pass the ball to Ralph Wires. Ralph's on the left. Back to the top, Tyler Sprick. Starts to make a drive, turns around 8 foot, pull around, no good. Rebound comes away. Jackson for Althoff Catholic. In the half-court set. That was a lot of dribbling, didn't go anywhere. Ralph Wires will pick up Jackson, numeral counterpart, both wearing number 3. In the high post to lead. Ball gets lost there for a brief moment. And last touch hustling over there was Grismala. Went off on him, so it will be Quincy High basketball. Coach Bonner standing up, shouting out a couple of instructions. Had the chance to talk to Coach Brown there a little bit before the game, sitting down. We were talking about Jada's performance yesterday and the team winning at the Classic. That'd be the Quincy High Blue Devil girls. 21-15, Devils lead by 6. 3:22 left first quarter action. Check that first half action. Behind the arc is Keyshawn Thomas. Keyshawn tries to go left, pushes off with his left hand, out of bounds. You know, that's where we coach. We talk about the 2 hands and 1 hands making passes. When you make a 1-hand pass.
Off the dribble.
Yes, and you don't have control of it, and it's your left hand, you're offhand as well. 3 minutes left in the first half.
That's not a good pass, on hand or off hand.
Exactly. Left side, Jackson. He's being guarded by Sprick. Between the legs, brings it around to the right side. Grismala in the right corner. You know, Wires and Grismala both have the same fuzzy hairdo. Rebound by the Devils. Wires to Wires. Oh, Ralph Wires tried to use the old body on Hill. And when he used the body, Hill had the presence to still reach over and block his shot. That's one of the few guys that have done that to Ralph when he goes in strong from the side. Ball went out of bounds, and it's back to Althoff. I'm not sure if it went out of bounds after that play.
Hill plays a lot bigger than 6 foot, listing on the program. Plays a lot bigger than 6 foot.
And you heard that there, timeout, 30-second timeout taken by Althoff Catholic. Both teams will check it out. Yeah, good crowd in here so far, Coach. I like the, up top doesn't have a lot of people, but that's, again, you're not expecting that with teams from all over. There are a good contingency every year from Collinsville area. So you've got a lot of the teams that are from down around here, so you've got the local flavor, and that's how the tournaments all usually start. You usually start off with the local people. I see Paul Lentz down there. And, of course, Paul looks good in blue since he came from the Payson Seymour Indians. Quite a player in his day. Now his kids are tied into the Quincy Public School system and just trading his blue from Payson over. I'm sure there's a Payson fan out there right now that's a Blue Devil fan.
Well, shoot, these last 2 minutes and 36 seconds here of the second quarter, I mean, if the Blue Devils can come out and, put a 6 to 8 point run on it and, finish off the half strong, I think they'll be looking real good in the second half. Now, if Althoff comes and goes, 8-0, and the Blue Devils are down by 2, they're going to be in a dogfight the rest of the day. So let's finish the quarter off strong.
Althoff with the basketball into the left corner. Kicks back to the top of the key, Grismala. Devils set up in their 1-2-2 half. Oh, and here's Cameron Wires stepping up with a steal. Wires going to go in. He stops, and he fakes out the first guy, but Hill's behind him to block the shot into the stands. That's all right. The Devils still have the basketball. Great job of getting underneath there and giving a head fake. And after the first guy flew by, but we had a couple more just waiting there, salivating a little bit. The Pavlov effect. Cameron Wires, actually, Ralph Wires back to the top of the key for the Devils. Bounces it right side. Sprick picked it up, looked at a 3 briefly, and said no. Wires up, under, no good. Weak side. Thomas hunting for the rebound in the corner. Keyshawn's got it. And a foul. Keyshawn spinning and turning, and you got guys slapping at the ball. This one's going to be whistled on Alex Johnson. His first, team's third, both tied with 3. 2:01 left in the second quarter, waiting for halftime.
Been a little lethargic here in the second quarter.
Well, it has seemed that way as the first quarter was 16-13. Devils in this one is only 5-2 in this quarter, and we played 6 minutes.
Yep.
Had some point blanks for both teams. Wires to Wires. Ralph back at the center circle. He goes behind the arc to Keyshawn Thomas. He'll go left side. Wires sets up for three. No good. Off the front of the iron, just came up short. Rebounded Johnson for Althoff Catholic. Of course, the girls beat Althoff Catholic earlier this year. Drive to the basket. Hill tried to give it up then. He was looking for Lieb to make a cut, and Lieb wasn't there. BL3 has two of them in the backcourt on him, so he gets the ball away. Cameron Wires across. Everybody readjusts for Althoff. Picks up their man. Well, I'll tell you what, I would say that Keyshawn's got quickness. I don't know if I'd have him that far out there on Lieb. Oh, that was a heck of a pass. I don't know how it got in there or how Ralph picked it up. Left side, Longcore. Drives to the hole. No good. He goes to the reverse to the right side. Outlet pass is stolen to Hill by Cameron Wires. In transition, Ralph Wires. Ralph stole it from Spring. Luckily, the Devils reset the offense with 1 minute left. First half action. Cameron Wires has Hill on him. In the high post, Keyshawn Thomas. Thomas faces up. Inside, Longcore. Great move on Longcore. Longcore's got Luke Smith on him. No way he's going to be able to match up, especially with BL3's strength this year.
Well, I think BL3 could probably take, anybody on the Althoff Catholic roster and take him underneath the basket and score.
And one guy would be a good matchup would be Hill with his strength. This time Ralph Wires uses his strength and gets Hill an offensive foul. His second, team foul number 4. So Hill's going to take a seat with 2 fouls, making sure in the last 35 seconds he does not commit a third. Devils with the 23-15 lead, 35 seconds left in the first half.
So what do you think? Do we get last shot? 35 seconds? I would say yeah.
You might as well as they bring it across court slowly. You've got an 8-point lead. You can build on it, and as long as you've got the basketball, Althoff Catholic cannot dig into your lead. Ralph Wires and Cameron Wires high. Tyler Sprinkles in the post. Cameron Wires sees an avenue, takes it all the way to the hole. Before he gets there, though, he's fouled with a hand check.
A little bit early. You want to start taking the ball to the hole with probably, 8-9 seconds to go, and then either drive and make a pass or get fouled. But, basically you left them with 15 seconds to go here in the second quarter, so then come down and get a good shot.
One good thing on that one was it's the 5th foul, so that means it's 2 shots. So even though he didn't get to the shot or the shooting motion, we have a sub now. Hill's going to come back in with 14-4. Boy, you'd love to see a 3rd foul there on a free throw to show you that why did he come back. Except he came back for maybe the last shot of the half. Wires missed the first.
Maybe step in front of him when he takes the ball to the hole hard. We haven't seen the Blue Devils take a charge for a while.
The old Jeremiah. 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 24-15. Devils decide to put 3-quarter court pressure. Grismalik across timeline, 5 seconds left. Hill's got the ball. He's going to try to make a move. He pulls up. 3 Devils are there. Ball goes off the front of the iron. No good. Devils did a good job of helping. And we have played a half at Collinsville. Your score, the Quincy High Blue Devils 24. The Crusaders of Althoff Catholic 15. And this is Blue Devil basketball on megasportsco.com.
David. Climb. Up here, you knucklehead. Hey, David. Hey, up here. What the heck, might as well.
And welcome back to Collinsville. Halftime here. Second game of the day. Blue Devils with the lead 24-15 against Althoff Catholic. Started off with the Devils with the first two of the game. A 3 by Althoff. Devils got a 7-3 lead, built a 12-6 lead. Shared back and forth, and after one quarter, 16-13, Devils with the lead. Second quarter started off, and the Devils got the first 5 points, put a little 7-point run together there, and built an 8-point lead. And after sharing or giving that basket up without the and one, free throw was missed. That was taken by Hill. That was the only thing he did miss in that quarter. And Devils came back with a bucket and a free throw. And that's where we're at, 24-15, not a bad half. Hill on the other side, he's hit 3 trays from outside, 2 for 2 at the charity stripe. And he's got a bucket on the way to the basket for an and one. So right there, 11, 12, 13 points out of the 15 points. So you know who to guard there. On the other side, Loncourt leading the way for the Devils. He had 5 in the first quarter. He had 7 in the second quarter. That's 12. And other than Thomas's 4, everybody else is left with 1 shot. But not a bad half. Devils got the lead. That's the biggest key, is to draw the lead and then look in halftime, get up on the chalkboard and decide. Well, they don't have chalkboards anymore. We'll do the dry erase board or your computer or whatever might be the case this day in the locker rooms, and basically break down the first half. And, Coach, how does it break down?
Well, you know, I tell you what, a very, very good defensive effort, you know, by the Blue Devils. Their length and athleticism has altered, you know, what Althoff has been wanting to do. You know, Hill's a load, but, you know, he's the only guy, you know, on their team that can get his own shot, and he gets it basically whenever he wants to. And he's had a good shooting night. So somebody from Althoff's going to have to pick up, but with the way the Blue Devils are defending, like I say, with their length and athleticism, it's going to be tough for Althoff to get back into this game.
You know, the Hill does create a shot, and he got all his points in the first quarter. The Devils shut him down in the second quarter, made him force a lot. It reminds me of a conversation we had last night with a friend of ours from St. Joseph Ogden, who always comes up at the Bloomington State Farm Classic and talks to us. And they had a player a few years ago. Well, they had the Pence kid, who's now at Illinois State, but they had a kid a few years earlier, Brendan Trimble. And Trimble could get his shot anywhere. He had 51 against the Raiders in the championship that year of the Classic. The only thing that stopped him was we had at least five Raiders in double figures. So the Raiders put a complete team effort together. But that might have been one of the most exciting championship games, definitely at the Classic, that I've seen. That was a lot of fun there. And Trimble could create everywhere.
Well, you know, he'd be out there at the volleyball line with, you know, two Raiders hanging on him, you know, and we're talking, you know, he was maybe 6'1", 6'2", you know, and you'd have two Raiders that are 6'3", 6'4", hanging on him. And, you know, it's one of those things to where, you know, shoot. And he was just basically unconscious. The only other performances that I've seen that have been similar to that, I still remember Jay Scheidler back for the Lawrenceville team, you know, back when he went, I think, 44. But the thing is, Scheidler did it without a three-point line. You know, it was all twos and free throws. So,
and another guy who did jump